Hi, it's Josephine, and this is my channel, The Versatile Housewife. This seems to be not that versatile of topics, but today I do want to talk about kind of like the 2025 plan to pan type thing. So like my perfume tray and my shelf of wonders, and I'm going to show that off in a moment. But the items that I kind of would like to have finished by Mother's Day, and then the items I would hopefully have finished by the end of the year. I'm not sure that I could really ever commit this year to a low buy, and especially not a no buy, at least for my personal items and stuff, but I can commit to using the bodily care items that I have before buying new ones. And so that's what I would like to do, especially since I know that my husband tends to get me fun lotions or things like that, or perfume for Mother's Day, and that my family in general tends to gift me things like that for like around Christmas time. So it would be really nice to clear out some space because I got a lot, and there's more than what I'm going to show you because I keep the other bathroom in the house, like the kids' rooms and stuff. I keep scents in there, so if there's ever anything going on in this bathroom, I'm lazy. So instead of grabbing what I have in here, I just use what's there, and I keep it stocked when I have visitors, which I'm fortunate enough that I do think, as far as having guests over, I get a decent number of visitors, because if people are road tripping, my house is in between my family in the north and my family in the south, so that always is nice, because I get visitors, but I don't get them all the time. But I do get them enough to justify certain things, I think. Some others might disagree, but I think I do. This is lightweight enough that I can carry it. And so this is my makeup box. I'm just going to be pulling them from here. So, I am only just getting back into doing makeup. But as far as this goes, I can only commit to a color. But whatever the heck that color is, I would like to hit pan on by the end of the year, which is easy. That's like Vaseline in my lips because I'm not using lipstick. It comes off anyway, so why not just use that way? All of them by the end of the year because I'm just learning to do my eyebrows. And I also stick it here because this is so bright and ghostly. I'm just haunting everyone where I go with that part line. It is what it is. I have a scalp that works and skin that covers my noggin. Can you hit pan on foundation? I don't know. I did get two colors because I do tend to get darker in the summer, and then the other thing is just blush. And I am not a makeup person, but I do think you shouldn't just be buying makeup to have it get expired. So that should be pretty easy to do. I want to use this all up by the end of the year. Whatever this is, I don't like the applicator. I like the applicator on this more, but I tried to swap them and it didn't seal well, so that's unfortunate. So I would like to use this guy up before the end of the year and hit pan on all of these end of the year. I love sparkles. I got them on now. But hit pan on all of these, and these two, I'm assuming I will use up quite a bit when February rolls around. And then as the 4th of July comes around, these, and then obviously winter again next year and hitting New Year's Eve kind of season. I mean, even just this January using bright colors, and then this is winter rolls around again, or even just October, the darker Halloween colors. Surprisingly, I mean, liner, it's just, I'd like to use it. I don't need to replace it. I think these aren't very urgent, but I want to use the brown one. I want to commit to really using this. Now, I know these things can last quite a long time, and you don't even really need a lot depending on the look you're going for. So I do tend to, I think that is much more flattering with my eye shape in general, but yeah. So that's not very much. So I am not like a big makeup girly. Now that I don't have infants, they're all technically toddlers and up, I have more time They don't need my attention the same way that a tiny infant does. Not that they don't need my attention, but basically I'm just saying I get like a solid half hour most days that I can actually do a little bit of makeup. So that's the makeup portion. So here's my perfume tray. I'm gonna go more in depth, just pulling objects from it while I'm sitting here. So there's a lot of items in there that I would like to use, and then a few that I definitely know I cannot get through within the year. And we'll start with the candle. This, can you hit pan on candle? I wanna use it. I've had the candle for about 4 years now. So I wanted to have a very scenic overview of me going through the perfume tray, but I can tell with the lighting that's just not gonna happen. So unfortunately, I gotta figure out something else, and I think you're just not gonna see it. I'm gonna be pulling from out of bounds, you know. I think this looks a little bit more reasonable. And again, I'm like confined to my donut. I'm still using that. But I think to start with fragrances and stuff is I really do like to have cohesive outfits and themes, and I like to pair things. So I think I can start with this one, and the reason being me mentioning one of the dates being May. My husband got these for me for Mother's Day last year, and I think this is going to be super easy to use. At least the lotion, and I wore it today even, and like, look, the pink coordinates, and this works well enough that I don't feel comfortable throwing it away. It's what I have on now, but it's definitely, I think I've left it like slightly open a few times, so it takes a good hour to 2 hours to fully cure, which is kind of hard to use when it comes to just having the kids around. But I do know if I put on my toenails and I wear the spacers and I walk around that way, they do a pretty good job at not getting nicked. So maybe I can commit to doing a lot of my toes this color this year. I don't know if I can use this up by May unless I'm doing it every day, which as far as toes go, I don't really care. I just touch it up. I think I could do that. But by 2025, but as far as fragrances and things go, I would like to have this done by May. Super easy. Probably could get it done by February if I'm using it on my legs and not just my arms, and like layering the fragrances. And then the Forever Sunshine Mist. This is pretty easy to... so easy. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, it has a bit of a beachy feel. Speaking of which, I got this. So I think I'm someone who always likes to be a month ahead of the season. I will probably really start to use this once we have like 65 degree days plus, and I can start working in the garden. And I look forward to that because that also means I'm recovering. But yeah, these two by the end of the year, I'd probably like to, I think I commit to these two. I think I can commit to these two, the beach, at the beach, and Forever Sunshine by September 30th. September 30th. So when September 30th rolls around, I'll have to write this down. Did I finish these guys? And that being said, I will say with this by September 30th. I think that's a good plan. And with this, let's say by Mother's Day of 2025. So I think the next batch of items that I have outside of those like pinks and Forever Sunshine are going to be such a vibe. Let's move this. All this purple stuff. Oof. Okay. Let's put the focus here and move these pinks away. This works, right? This works. Okay, so we have this. This is not for babies. This is for me. Because I like to take a bath and I like it to stay purple. So I can absolutely use these two by the end of the year. I got these when I was expecting my last baby and when I was pregnant because to stay calm, I needed to have something to do, and taking a bath at night also was just like painful on my legs and everything with all the weight. So I got those. I can't take a bath right now, but I can use them by the end of the year because outside of having had my last one, I'm not really into the baby soap stuff, and I have been preferring to use bar soap, but I can absolutely use those, and I can use them for about the next 2 weeks. I cannot take any baths, and I am just using unfragranced body soap in the shower. So I probably won't get started on that until later, but I do think I'll be able to have that done by Mother's Day, because 6 weeks out post-op, 2 to 6 weeks, somewhere in that range, still gives me plenty of time to go through this, especially if I double use this. I take that back. It's going to take me a little bit longer to get through that, just being a lotion. These two both have very clean smells, and these in conjunction with these nail polishes, I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this year. That'd be more like a... I think those can kind of hang around for a while. And as far as nail polishes go, there's not really any urgent reason to use them up. There's things that you can get to add it into your... There's like nail polish thinners that you can get to help them last longer if they get clumpy. So it would just be if I want a new color. There's no reason to have a new color. So the only other colors I would like would be a very soft pink at some point and a very light blue at some point, but that's not required. This guy I can use up. This guy is also a fun kind of fragrance, which goes along with at least one of these samples. I know smells like roses. I don't know which one it is, but I would like to use. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Come on. Look. I would like to use up all of the samples by the end of the year, and if that means I'm like spritzing things or paper, that I'm spritzing papers as well, because I said I do that. I'm getting so distracted. These have a much more mature scent to them. I'm only just now learning what notes are, but I don't know what notes qualify as being mature. They're very powdery, woodsy, so I don't know what you would consider that. I'm learning. We'll see. This is something that I can absolutely use up by the end of the year if I commit to using this tube. This tube is the same thing as, is it? This might be more of a mist and this more of a perfume, but it's the Britney Spears Body Fantasy, which I love, and I only get it when it shows up at Walmart as the gift sets. Oh my gosh. This will be super easy to use. This will absolutely be used by the time Mother's Day rolls around. This will not. And I have no reason to just abuse it just to say that I did. But these two, Mother's Day, if not Mother's Day, definitely by the end of this year. I'm gonna go put those up. I don't know if you would consider this pannable. This is cream for breastfeeding, but what I found is that it's actually really nice to put on like the bottom of my heels, on my hands at night, or on my lips, like the same way you would Vaseline or cocoa butter. And just because, you know, in the goal of not just letting things go to waste, I want to use this fully by the end of the year. So I'm gonna stick that right back there. And then the only other thing that I want to use fully that I can commit to is this Cloud 9. I find that it works really well when I layer it with whatever this is. I Love You, Jean-Marc Paris, another Marshalls type thing. So these two smell really good together. And one last thing. I think these also pair really nice together. So I know they still make champagne toast, but I find that these two, at least on my skin, smell very complimentary. And this guy, look at that. Pretty close to done. Now I did Forever Sunshine. I'm gonna do this. You know the fruit snacks that are the smiley faces? That's what this smells like. Childhood memories right there. So yeah, that's what I hope to get done. This is super choppy. So that's what I hope to go through this year. I was wrong. I lied to you. The only other last thing that I want to get through before the end of this year would be this body spray. This is too full and too strong to get done with by the end of this year, especially with all the other things I want to use, but especially with all the other things that I would like to use. But this guy, this body spray, is not long lasting at all. They smell like Sweet Tarts. Sweet Tarts? Yeah, like a mix, something between Smarties and Sweet Tarts. And my kids love the smell of it. So it just smells like candy. It's hard candy. But I would like to use up the rest of this bottle by the end of the year. So final recap, end of the year, it's just a good pair to help it feel like it's lasting longer. End of the year. End of the year. End of September. Mother's Day. Ooh. Mother's Day. And then lastly, because I put it back, Mother's Day, end of the year. So those are my goals as far as like fragrances go. Oh yes, one more. I'm just gonna put these together. End of the year. So that's for the fragrances. Now that gives me something else to focus on. And if you made it this far, do you have any plans to pan or to use up your items fully before you replace them? Are you doing a low buy or a no buy at all, or at least in certain categories? I'm very interested in something like this. I have a lot of things I would like to save up for, and I do know in my house there's a lot of other categories, so it would be more like not buying this kind of stuff, although this is personal spending, but like if I wanted to spend money on like car parts, then I need to save money in other areas, and I have plenty of stuff to keep me busy. Oh, I know what it's called. Empty container, right? Empty container? Containered? I don't know. But yeah, I want to hear it. I'm at this rate, I probably need to rest in my bed again and take pain medication and sleep. So I'm gonna call it quits. Anyway, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to follow along, feel free to subscribe. Any thoughts that you have, please place it in the comments. At this rate, obviously, I can read them all. So thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye.